Hey everybody, welcome back to Weird Sports and welcome back to the Villa. This is Villa as we cover Aston Villa, and our host is Aaron Slater. As always, Aaron, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. It was two good weekends in a row. One slightly worse, but overall, very good.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks since we've had time to
hmm
discuss, so going a little bit back in time now, 9 days to be exact,
hmm
to the West Ham game. So 1-1 draw. What happened?
Um, this match actually is probably fair to say that it should have finished 1-1. Um, or excuse me, that was the next. This is the next week. I just happened to be looking at my show notes. West Ham had a lot of shot opportunities. We Villa got out to a quick head start with a goal in the 17th minute. So that was really beneficial from Alex Moreno to Ali Watkins. Fantastic. They've been communicating really well with each other, and obviously it showed with this particular goal. Um, the way that West Ham got their goal, which this was the softest PK I've seen in a long time, like 10 ply soft. Like uh Paqueta should have won an Oscar kind of acting. That's how bad it was, honestly. Um Leon Bailey just he literally touched the shoulder of Paqueta and went down. Should Bailey have done that? Probably not, but it in my eyes it was a flop. He was flopping. He was looking for it. Unfortunately, Chris Kavanaugh gave the PK. Ben Rama scored. It was unfortunate. It didn't really knock the sails out of us. I thought going forward we played pretty well. We looked bright, creative. Defending, I I think we're having a hard time defending direct attack, over the top kind of balls, killer through balls, stuff like that. We're having a hard time defending. Um, Villa also could have had a PK shout in that match. Um, Buendia was tackled pretty hard in the box, got his foot grazed over the top by Declan Rice. Um, Kavanaugh went to VAR, I believe. No, I think VAR actually talked to him and said it wasn't a PK, which was absurd. That was more of a foul in the box than the foul Bailey had on Paqueta. Um, but some giveth, some taketh, and that's the kind of the punches you roll with. Other than that, I think I think a 1-1 draw was probably best case scenario. We were away. We had a good away form. And you just never know. Like I said last time with West Ham, they're a teeter-tottery team. What outcome we were going to get. So
Yeah, so a little bit better game this weekend with the 3-0 win over Bournemouth. What'd you see there?
uh, this was the best game under Unai to date. This game was fantastic. There, let me go over the stats because these stats are pretty great here. If I scroll down, because I should have prepped a little bit better. All right. So expected goals for Villa was a 3.66 to Bournemouth's 1.36. Fantastic. It definitely showed that we were the better team. We deserved all the goals that we had. We had 20 shots. We had 5 big chances to Bournemouth's one big chance, and they only had 10 shots. We missed 2 chances, big chances. What are you going to do? That happens. We possessed the ball 56% of the time. That's what Unai wants. He wants a very possession-based kind of style team. Our pass accuracy, phenomenal, 85%. Let me keep looking here. We had 9 shots on target, which is fantastic. This is the stat that I like the most. We had 16 shots inside the box, which is fantastic. This team wants to get the ball in the box and they want to score. Excuse me. All of our goals in this match were scored within the 6-yard box, all of them, which is so sweet to hear, especially from a team in the beginning of the season that was kind of down in themselves, hard finding scoring goals, and now we're ripping in three and we're working inside the box and we're getting goals inside the 6-yard box. It's fantastic. This team was creative. This team passed the ball well. They possessed well, and this is the best part of this. They didn't look one-dimensional on the attacking side of the ball. We scored multiple ways. We scored off the set piece. It was a corner. It was I don't remember who took the corner. Doesn't really matter. But Mings headed it across, and Buendia got it. It knocked it in. The other one that was late in the match. That was a cherry. Ramsey. There was a lofted ball to. Yep, I just dropped it on my head. Watkins, who nodded it down to Ramsey, collected it, beat his defender, and beat Neto on his far post. And then the one that set us everything up here, which I'll start with, which I didn't start with. So I went in reverse, which is okay. Watkins drove into the box, took a shot, deflected off of the Bournemouth defender, it ends up being cruel because it lands to Bailey, who has taken some criticism lately, and he should, because he has been kind of non-existent lately. He was able to collect, drive to the byline, and with his weak foot, which is fantastic. I think somebody has been working with him. One of the coaches have been working with him on building his weak foot up, and he was able to cross it in with his right foot and find Douglas Luiz just standing there. And if it wasn't Douglas Luiz, it was going to be Ollie Watkins. There was somebody there to take that shot, and you could tell how much it meant to Douglas Luiz scoring, how much to get ahead at home and just be able to, take the game by the throat kind of deal. It was fantastic.
Yeah, so I kind of want to. We didn't talk about this before, but looking at the standings, it's like 11th. That's great. Pretty much within striking distance of 6th, like all of those. But then there's a huge drop off afterwards, and all those teams are pretty much playing for relegation based on like the way the season started. How can you how much of a improvement has it been over this season?
Light years of improvement. Like we discussed from our first one, we were like, oh my gosh, are we going to get relegated kind of deal? Thank goodness we had this coaching change, and could just being 15th be in the cards. We're light years ahead of that. We're not even in relegation talk anymore. We have separated ourselves from that. It's fantastic. In fact, what this does as a team is it obviously boosts confidence, but then it gets players from other countries, and it makes recruitment easier. This is where I'm going with it. It makes recruitment easier to convince somebody, hey, we just missed top 10, or however we finish. I'm hoping we finish in the top 10, obviously. Hey, we're in the top 10. You could be the piece we need. You could get us over into Europe. We could play in European tournaments. Having those conversations makes it much easier for recruitment. So that's another small twist to this. But having a head coach, having a manager know what he's doing is just, this is what it is. This breeds winning right here.
Yeah, I mean, like since we've pretty much been covering them, it's just been like, I think our first episode was Unai was coming in, and ever since then, it's just been such a like fun like ascension to watch. So really glad we started covering them
Heck
at the time we did.
There's a stat too out there that since Unai has taken over, Villa would be in third place if all, if the match season started that day. Third place. We'd be
Yeah,
playing in Champions League right now. We
yeah.
could
No, I
be
mean they've been great.
yeah.
It's crazy. Like when we first started, I was like, oh, I don't know much, but like, oh, maybe this team's like struggling right now. Who knows? And ever since then, I imagine as a big fan like you are, it's been like a blast to
Oh
watch.
god, it's so much more fun. The fact that we were lied to from Gerard about having an identity, about having a style of play, and you know, not being able to. He lost the locker room, but as fans, we were lied to. We wanted this style of play, and none of that happened, and it was boring to watch. And then finally, we get a breath of fresh air about somebody who knows what they're doing and takes the time to digest what he's seeing on film and be able to deliver it to his players, or the coaching staff to be able to deliver it to the players. Is It's light years ahead of any other coach. There's no other coach I would ever want.
No, definitely. So looking forward a little bit. Well, first let's touch on some injury stuff. Anything looking good, bad? What's up?
So we had talked last time we had talked. Boubacar Kamara got injured from a nasty slide tackle, but he was expected to be out for a month. Turns out that the staff was wrong, which is great, and he could. I'm hoping he'll be back after the break. Um, it seems like, from what I understand, maybe a couple weeks instead of 4 weeks. So
Hey, we'll take that, right?
heck yeah, he's been a great anchor for this club.
And so looking forward a little bit. Chelsea on Saturday in a couple weeks, but we got a little bit of a break.
Mhm.
What are you kind of looking for this team to kind of do during the break? Well, if you were the coach, you were the manager, what would you want out of this team?
Right now, I think I'm telling them, hey guys, we've been knocking on the doorstep. Like we're we if we beat Chelsea, we not only pass Chelsea in sitting in 10th, but we could, depending on how the weekend sits out, we could be sitting in ninth right now. This is going to be a big step for everybody here. Like I want you to be thinking about the next match, and I want you to put 110% in, like he always probably expects anyway. But this is a critical match because we have been just sitting here, hovering, separating ourselves, but hovering. Now we can take the ascension. That's what I'd be saying.
I like it. So anything that we didn't touch on that you wanted to?
I'd like to highlight some players that uh, have been succeeding very well under Unai. Um, Alex Moreno. I was a little dowdy on him because of the age. He's 29 years old. Um, I know I'm 31. I could definitely do better now, but 29 years old. You're not looking for those kind of players. You're looking for the 26-year-old, the 22-year-olds in that ballpark. I was wrong. I was so wrong. This guy has been everything I wanted going forward. He is he's again creative, quick. He knows how to whip the ball in. He listens to his players, the offensive players. He gets to the byline and cuts it up to passes it up to the 18 to the penalty spot. I'm thinking Luka Dean's done. They're gonna sell him next summer. He's making like 120 plus a week, and he's going to be gone. Um, Fantastic player. Ollie Watkins changed man under Unai. It's not that he didn't have the type of skill set. It's someone needed to direct that skill set. Like sharpen the spear. That that's what they needed, and that's what he's doing. He's taking on defenders like he is, but better. He's backing them down. He's taking one-on-one guys. It's fantastic. Um, I thought Ramsey's has looked really well. Um, him going forward, he's a very driven player. He'll, much like Ollie, one-on-one, but like he's got a bigger burst of speed, like a higher acceleration, and he beats his players, and he knows what to do with driving the ball. Um, Douglas Luiz has been an absolute monster. Um, like the Bournemouth match, he scored a goal. That's great. But he's been so much more than that. He's been able to facilitate the ball out to the wings. He's been able to find the wing backs or somebody out wide to be able to put it into the box. It's been fantastic, and he's been able to sit back sometimes. He's been like a deep line playmaker or an advanced playmaker. It's been fantastic. Those guys have been wonderful, and uh, John McGinn, he's always been there. And before, this isn't necessarily a Nunai thing because he actually has been a good player, but uh, it's good to see him finally be able to be healthy. You can see him be healthy and be better, back to the way where clubs actually might want to transfer for him, kind of deal. That's how much better he's been. Um, but other than that, this club has an identity finally. These players are willing to back their coach, their manager. They're willing to take advice, and they're just leaps and bounds better.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Anything you want to plug before we get on out of here?
Absolutely. Rhett and I have our own podcast, a little spin-off from you guys, where it's called Swinging at Shins. We talk more about the EPL in depth, um, who we think's getting relegated, which has been an absolute S show lately. I mean, anybody from 12 to the bottom can get relegated. It's incredible. Tightest.
Yeah. When I mentioned it, I don't think I said so. Villa has 38 points, and then
Mhm.
the next is 27, but then like the relegation is like 23.
Yeah.
And like everyone else is in, but it's insane. It's really
Yeah.
like a haves and haves not.
I'll have to talk to Rhett. I'm hoping he'll be down for this, but I kind of want to do a live show at Beer Garden. I think that'll be
Yeah,
killer,
that'd be
especially
incredible.
like if this stays as close as it does. Oh my goodness, it could be like one of the craziest last days.
Definitely. Definitely. So go check out that. It's always the top link in the description. Swinging at Shins. They put a lot of work into it, so please go check it out. It's also very good, not just the work. It's a good podcast, but
Oh,
yeah. But yeah, please go check it out. You can follow the channel on pretty much every social media. Just search Wicked Good Sports, except for Twitter. You got to search Wicked Good Sport because someone else is squatting on the Wicked Good Sports handle, even though they don't post. So maybe we can get it someday. I don't know. We'll see. But other than that, Aaron, thank you so much for your time.
thank you, Brian.
We'll see you all in the next one.